One of Thank you. One of the most crucial issues for Minnesota in this election is the subject of refugees. This is a vital matter of national security. To protect our country, I issued a directive suspending the entry of refugees from foreign nations compromised by terrorism like you've never seen before, including from Syria, Somalia, and Yemen. We're keeping radical Islamic terrorists out of our country. I spoke to President Macron of France yesterday and put out my warmest sympathy for what they've been through over the last 4 days with terrorist attacks, the likes of which few have seen. Biden has pledged a staggering 700% increase in refugees from the most dangerous and violent terrorist hotspots anywhere in the world. He has also vowed to terminate our national security travel bans, which I fought very hard to get, which I won in the Supreme Court, allowing for unlimited migration from war zones and terrorist havens. He said, bring them in. Biden's deadly migration policies will overwhelm Minnesota and overwhelm taxpayers and open the floodgates to terrorists, jihadists, and violent extremists. Under my administration, the safety of our families will always come first. America first, our families first. With your support, we will continue to bring back your jobs, cut your taxes, cut regulations, support our great police, support our military, defend our borders, protect our Second Amendment, which is totally under siege, but don't worry, as long as I'm here, nothing's happening with it. Protect religious liberty and ensure more products are proudly stamped with the very wonderful and beautiful phrase, made in the USA. Yesterday it was announced that last quarter our economy grew at the fastest rate ever recorded. History of our country, 33.1%. People were shocked. I wasn't. It's the biggest increase in the history of our country by far. 1952, but it was a rate less than half. We are creating an economic powerhouse, a superpower, the likes of which the world has never seen before. We are building the biggest, strongest, and most prosperous middle class in human history, and I am fighting for higher wages, more jobs, more opportunity, and we will keep it right there, and we will bring it right here to the USA where it belongs. Joe Biden has never succeeded before. Barack Obama said that if you want to see things screwed up, just ask Joe Biden to do it. Joe Biden will ship your factories to China, impose a $4 trillion tax hike, eliminate private health care, abolish the entire oil industry and fracking, and send your state into a crippling depression. Biden's anti-energy, anti-worker policies would be a nightmare for Latino and African-American workers all across our land. Biden will also continue his 47 years of cruelly betraying African-Americans. He called them super predators in 1994, ripped apart their communities, and did everything in his power to wipe out the black middle class. And they understand it better than anybody, and I think you'll probably see that at the voter booth. They understand what he's done better than anybody. Super predators, he said. Now Biden wants to wipe out the entire U.S. economy for black Americans, Hispanic Americans, and all Americans. He has no idea what he's doing. He wants to give you the largest tax increase in the history of our country by far. Joe Biden's plan will delay the vaccine, postpone therapies, crash the economy, and shut down our entire country. Under the Biden lockdown, which he talks about and cherishes, countless Americans will die from suicide, drug overdoses, and deferred medical care at a level like you haven't seen before. There will be no school, no graduations, no weddings, no Thanksgiving, no Christmas, no 4th of July, no Easter, no nothing. There will be no future for America's youth. Under my plan, we will deliver a safe vaccine to the American people in just a matter of weeks, and it will be something that will be very, very special. And we are rounding the turn on the pandemic with or without vaccine. We have the vaccine. It's going to come. But even without it, we're rounding the turn. Seniors will be first in line to get it, and it will be available free. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't our fault. It was the fault of China. We should have kept it within their limits. Our vaccine will eradicate the virus and the pandemic, and it will end. Quickly restore normal life. That's what we want, is normal life. Take us back 7 months. Normal life, record-setting everything in a normal life. And next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country. We will wipe out the China plague once and for all. We're joined today by Congressman Jim Hagedorn and Congressman Tom Emmer. Thank you, fellas. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks, Jim. Tom. Great warriors. They've been with me all the way. And congressional candidate, somebody that's really outstanding. I think you two agree, right? You two agree? Michelle Fischbach. Great job. I saw you in the debate. You did a fantastic job. Thank you, Michelle. Great job. State Senator Paul Gazelka. Paul, thank you. Thank you, Paul. State Representative Kurt Doubt. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kurt. Like your hat. And GOP Chair Jennifer Carnahan. Thank you, Jennifer. Are we doing well, Jennifer? I think we're going to win. 1972, and you have been treated very, very badly. In addition, friend of mine, Mike Lindell. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. Great job. Great job. And former, this is a big one, really. Matt Burke, Minnesota Viking star, superstar, really, huh? Look at him. You look like you could play tomorrow. Thank you very much, Matt. Great honor to meet you. Another vital issue in this race is the Minnesota Iron Range. I brought it back to life. It was dead, it was closed, it was sealed, and you weren't going to use it for anything. As vice president, Joe Biden tried to obliterate the Iron Range. 7 plants were idled. The rest were closing very shortly. And they were there was barely a whimper. I brought the Iron Range roaring back to life. I have friends that live in Minnesota. They said it was so unfair. When it was closed, a man came up to me. I don't know who he was, but he was a strong, big, powerful man, and he was crying, and he said, they've taken my life away when they closed the Iron Range. Well, I opened it. That was the most convincing of all. Everybody wanted me to do it. But when I saw him, I said, there's no doubt about it. And it's fully opened and really doing phenomenally. And it has the best iron, they say, anywhere in the world, but you had it closed, so it's great. Congratulations. Congratulations. It was my honor. That area is now thriving. It's thriving. It was desolate. It's now thriving. 9 Democrat mayors in the Iron Range have endorsed me because they know Biden will shut down the Iron Range forever. And by the way, they will shut it down as fast as I opened it up, and they'll shut it down permanently the next time. They said, we made a mistake. We didn't do it through legislature. We made a mistake. They will shut it down permanently, so I hope you remember that. I just hope you remember that, especially on November 3rd. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in American history. Biden's plan to admit unlimited low-wage foreign workers will slash incomes, surge unemployment, and devastate your middle class, all to enrich his globalist donors. He raises money like crazy because he's making deals. They're giving him millions of dollars I could raise much more than him, but I don't want to be compromised. I won't be compromised. And we don't need the money. We don't need the money. That's how they've raised all of that money, because they're making deals with Wall Street. As president, I will only advance immigration policies that put American workers and families first. You, the American people, are my only special interest. That's why I did this. And I had a very nice life before doing this, I have to tell you. I will continue fighting for you harder than anyone has ever done before. The forgotten men and women of our country will never, ever be forgotten again. And you know that, and you saw that. 4 years ago, we had a very, very exciting time. This is even more exciting, and frankly, this is a more important election, and I never thought I'd be saying that. A vote for me and the Republican Party is a vote for the American dream. So, Minnesota, this is that very important time has finally arrived. This is it. This is the history of our nation. This is a very, very big moment for our country. This Tuesday or sooner, get out and vote. Every one of you. Remember what your governor did this evening. And it's a small thing, but a horrible thing to thousands and thousands of people that are outside that could be here. We could all be together. A horrible thing that they did. Your state and your country depend on you. We depend on your vote. We depend on your loyalty, and you have my loyalty. That you know and that you found out. Together we are going to make history. On November 3rd, we're going to make history, and this will be very special for Minnesota. People have been talking about it for years, but it never quite works out. Even with me, we lost by half a point. One more stop. I should have come one more time, just one more time. But you know what? It's not going to matter, because we're going to have an even bigger victory on November 3rd. So I want to thank you. God bless you. God bless Minnesota. And God bless America. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.